He shoves the beetle into his mouth. The leg scratches tongue. The shell cracks against his teeth. This isn't a man losing his mind. This is Charles Darwin, the future saint of science, consuming his obsession. You think you know him, the grandfatherly face on the 10-pound note, the wise hermit of Down House. Forget that man. The real Darwin lived a double life in the shadows. For 20 years, he sat on a secret that would incinerate the Victorian world. He didn't just discover evolution. He hunted it like a predator. He spent decades collecting bones and blood, while his own heart withered in fear. He called his work a confession of murder. Not of a person, but of God. He knew his ink would drown the world in cold, hard biological truth. He didn't want to save humanity. He wanted to strip us naked and show us the animal underneath. We're not searching for a scientist. We're dissecting a fugitive who broke the universe. The trial starts now. London chokes on its own certainty. The world functions like a Swiss watch. Every gear turns by divine command. The lion eats the lamb because the master designer drew the blueprint. It's clean. It's comforting. It's a lie. Darwin steps onto the HMS Beagle not as a rebel, but as a passenger in a floating cage. He carries the weight of 1,000 years of theology. Then, the horizon breaks him. The ship plunges into the chaos of the Southern Cross. Darwin pukes over the railing until his stomach hits the floor. He stares at the mountains of the Andes. He finds seashells embedded in the peaks, miles above the tide. The gears of the great watch begin to grind. Rocks don't lie. Priests do. He lands in the Galapagos, a volcanic hellscape that smells of sulfur and ancient rot. He doesn't see a garden. He sees a slaughterhouse. He watches iguanas dive into salt water to starve slower. He observes finches with beaks shaped like daggers, built to pierce specific fruits or crush specific skulls. This isn't harmony. It's an arms race. Nature doesn't care about your soul. It only cares about the next meal. Darwin realizes the Creator didn't build this world. Survival did. He grabs a handful of volcanic dirt and realizes he's holding the ashes of 1 billion failed species. The static world of the church evaporates. In its place, a brutal, screaming machinery of blood and bone. The passenger is gone. The butcher of illusions has arrived. He's found the glitch in the divine matrix, and he's about to tear the whole system down from the inside. Darwin stares at his daughter's cooling skin. Annie, 10 years old, gone. The medicine failed. The prayers evaporated into the ceiling. He doesn't cry for a soul in heaven. He dissects the grief. He watches the scarlet fever win because it was better at killing than she was at living. This death isn't a tragedy. It's a data point. The survival of the fittest just claimed his heart, and he hates himself for seeing the logic in the blood. He retreats to the shadows of Down House. He locks his heresy in a desk drawer. He buries his manuscript like a murder weapon. He fears the mob. He fears his wife's piteous gaze. He knows his words will turn him into a pariah. A man who stole the crown from God and gave it to the apes. Then, a letter arrives from the jungle. Alfred Russel Wallace. A younger man. A hungrier man. Wallace found the secret. He found the mechanism. He mapped the slaughter. Darwin's 20 years of silence suddenly taste like ash. If he doesn't speak now, he vanishes. If he speaks, he burns. The clock on the wall becomes a guillotine. He races against a rival to claim the title of the man who killed the Creator. He sweats through his sheets. He vomits in the morning. His skin erupts in hives. His body rejects the truth his mind can't stop shouting. He makes the choice. He abandons his safety. He betrays his class. He throws his manuscript at the public like a grenade. He doesn't publish for fame. He publishes to survive the erasure. He walks to the edge of the social cliff and jumps. Behind him, the ghost of his daughter. In front of him, a world that will never forgive him for being right. Darwin never fired a bullet, but he built the deadliest arsenal in history. He didn't just explain the world. He unleashed a monster he couldn't cage. Once he proved nature favors the strong. The vultures of humanity took notes. They didn't see biology. They saw a license to kill. Industrialists seized his words to grind the poor into the dirt. If the weak starve, it's just a natural order. They turned factories into kill zones and called it progress. Then came the politicians. They took Darwin's ink and dipped their bayonets in it. They justified empires. They categorized human beings like bugs in a display case. They decided who deserved to breed and who deserved to vanish. The logic of the finch became the logic of the gas chamber. Survival of the fittest mutated into a hunger for racial purity. Darwin's struggle for life became a manual for systematic death. Look around you today. The ghost of Darwin haunts your pocket. It's in the algorithms that fight for your attention. It's in the corporate boardrooms where disruption means the death of the slow. We live in a world where empathy is a glitch and competition is the only god left. We've automated the struggle. We've digitized the slaughter. We took a theory about birds and turned it into a cage for our own souls. Darwin gave us the truth. We turned it into a nightmare. We finally outran the finches. We stopped waiting for nature to choose our path. Now, we grab the scalpel ourselves. We hack the code of life with CRISPR. We build silicon brains that evolve 1 billion times faster than flesh. We've killed the Darwinian struggle by becoming the architects of our own design. But here is the jagged pill. We've escaped the jungle. But we brought the predator with us. We've replaced natural selection with a data-driven hunger. We optimize our children. We algorithmize our love. We've become the gods Darwin once erased. But we have no idea what to do with the power. The mirror doesn't show a divine image anymore. It shows a work in progress. A biological glitch trying to outsmart its own expiration date. Darwin stripped away our soul and gave us a nervous system. Now that we can rewrite that system, who decides what fit means? Are we the masters of the machine? Or just the next species scheduled for deletion?